give you a behind-the-scenes view not only of my company, but of the world of media and sports and the fascinating characters you find around every corner. The lessons that arise from these stories are the same ones I have learned, or at least tried to, over a 50-year career. And since I'm an entrepreneur, this book will provide the unvarnished truth about what that really means. This isn't a book about inventing a revolutionary product that changes the world, or a story about scaling the mountaintops of commerce and emerging unscathed. Instead, it's about what happens in some fascinating businesses when things go spectacularly right, and just as often when they go painfully wrong. Anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur needs to understand that to succeed, you absolutely have to know how to handle failure, and this book will provide lots of examples of both. Never Ride a Roller Coaster Upside Down is not exclusively about business because life is, or should be, so much more. To that end, this book will provide a number of lessons that are critical to understanding how to navigate the roller coaster ride that will be your life. Some of these may be ones you've heard of before, while others may be surprising. Regardless, all should be relevant to anyone who wants to captain their own ship. This book also provides insights into the economics of media and sports to show you another intriguing look behind the scenes of these industries that have such a foothold in our lives. Through a host of interesting stories told in plain terms we can all understand, you will peel back the curtain on how media and sports really work. Some of those insights will probably surprise you, and some should amuse you as well. Writing this book has been one of the most cathartic, enjoyable experiences I've ever had. I hope you will have fun listening to it and come away with an understanding that will help you in all of your endeavors. Chapter 1. Do what you love. Over the past 50 years, I've had an immensely rewarding, albeit sometimes bizarre career in media, sports, entertainment, and even a slice of government. Most people know me because I invented radio's all-sports format with the launch of WFAN New York. Others have heard of me because of my controversial tenure as owner of the Seattle Mariners baseball team. For years, I've told friends that I had to be an entrepreneur because I'm not capable of being hired in a free society. My entrepreneurial roots run deep. I come from a family that was part of the first wave of Jewish immigrants in the 1880s and 1890s, most escaping from the pogroms in Russia and Ukraine. My father's father came through Ellis Island and ultimately moved west to Indiana, where he worked for himself. Doing what? I'll give you a tip that will serve you well at cocktail parties. When you meet someone who is Jewish from the Midwest, ask if their family was in scrap or dry goods. They will be amazed at your perceptive skills. It's a trick question. Every Jew in the Midwest was in scrap or dry goods. My father's father was a peddler, selling his wares in several small towns in Indiana until he settled in Indianapolis, where he started a poultry business that operated successfully for many years. My mother's father, who had also landed in Indiana, was a classic entrepreneur. In 1912, he started one of the first, if not the first, automobile finance companies in the United States. The business was wildly successful all through the next 3 decades, and he prospered even as the country was ravaged by the Depression. After my dad returned from active duty during World War II, both his father and his father-in-law wanted him to join their respective businesses. My mother lobbied hard, and my dad agreed to join her father's company, Indiana Finance. While it had enjoyed a terrific niche market before World War II, Indiana Finance gradually declined as banks realized that automobiles were valuable collateral. By 1960, when my grandfather died, the business was still profitable, but on a much smaller scale. My dad and my uncle, seeing little future in Indiana Finance, branched out into Howard Johnson's motels and a sizable apartment complex. For the past 11 years, I've had the pleasure of driving my younger daughter, Sammy, to school every morning. We talk about everything, and my lessons bubble up naturally from the stories of my life. One time we were discussing how to have a successful career, and I surprised her by telling her she had to be prepared to fail. I know when you're starting out, you think success is going to be a straight line to the top, but setbacks are inevitable. Life is really a roller coaster ride of ups, downs, dips, and wild turns. The key to staying on the roller coaster is to enjoy the ride, and for that, you need to find something you love doing. Sammy gave me a skeptical look. She had heard that her great